Washington, D.C., Griffith Stadium. Cold spring afternoon, 1924. Walter Johnson stands on the mound, baseball's fastest pitcher. 4-17 wins, 3.509 strikeouts. For 20 years, nobody has challenged him. Babe Ruth approaches the plate. Johnson looks at him and smiles. That dismissive smile. "Babe, you won't touch me today. You can't catch up to my speed. Never." 30,000 people in the stands. Silence. Ruth raises his bat, says nothing. Johnson throws the first pitch, 98 miles per hour, almost invisible. Ruth's bat moves, then a sound. That sound shakes the stadium, and Walter Johnson's 20 years of dominance vanishes in 3 seconds. But how did these two legends end up in this confrontation? What words were spoken before that first pitch? And what really happened when the fastest arm in baseball faced the most dangerous bat? This is the story the record books don't tell. Washington, D.C., April 12, 1924. 3 days before the game that will define both men's legacies. The Washington Senators are preparing for a crucial series against the New York Yankees. Walter Johnson is 36 years old now, still dominant, still feared, still the standard by which all pitchers are measured. His fastball has been clocked at 98 miles per hour. In 1924, with the equipment and balls they use, this is superhuman. Most pitchers throw 80-85. Good pitchers throw 88-90. Elite pitchers might reach 93. Walter Johnson throws 98. Consistently, inning after inning. He's pitched 18 seasons, won 417 games. More than any pitcher in American League history. His strikeout record is untouchable. 3,509 batters have stood in the box, swung at his fastball, and missed. He is, without question, the most dominant pitcher of his generation, maybe of any generation. But there's a problem. Johnson has never won a World Series. He's pitched for the Senators his entire career. Good team. Not great. They've never made it to the championship, and Johnson knows his window is closing. He's 36, his arm is still strong, but age is catching up. This season might be his last real chance. The Yankees, meanwhile, are the opposite. Young, powerful, dominant. They won the World Series in 1923. They have the best lineup in baseball, and at the center of that lineup is Babe Ruth. Ruth is 29 years old, in his absolute prime. He hit 41 home runs last season. An absurd number. Revolutionary. He's changed baseball entirely. Before Ruth, home runs were rare. 1 or 2 per season for most players. Ruth hits 40. He's a phenomenon. A drawing card. People come to stadiums just to see if he'll hit one out, but Johnson doesn't respect Ruth. Not really. To Johnson, Ruth represents everything wrong with modern baseball. The emphasis on power over skill, the preference for spectacle over strategy. Ruth swings for the fences on every pitch. That's not baseball to Johnson. That's circus. Real baseball is about pitching, about control, about making batters look foolish with movement and speed. Ruth just swings hard and hopes. Sometimes it works, usually it doesn't. Johnson has faced Ruth 23 times in his career. Ruth's batting average against Johnson is .215. Terrible. Johnson has struck him out 14 times, dominated him, made him look ordinary. And Johnson never lets anyone forget it. April 13, 1924. Day before the series starts, both teams are in Washington. The press is building hype. Yankees versus Senators, Ruth versus Johnson, power versus precision. The newspapers run headlines. Can Ruth solve Johnson? Fastest arm meets biggest bat. The matchup everyone wants to see. A reporter asks Johnson about facing Ruth. Johnson is in the Senators' clubhouse preparing equipment when 3 reporters approach. "Walter, you're facing Babe Ruth tomorrow. Any concerns?" Johnson doesn't even look up. "Why would I be concerned?" He hit 41 home runs last season. He's the most dangerous hitter in baseball. Now Johnson looks up, that confident smile. He's dangerous against slow pitching, against pitchers who don't know how to handle him. I know exactly how to handle him. What's your strategy? Same strategy I use against everyone. Throw my fastball. Let them try to hit it. Most can't. But Ruth has hit you before. Ruth has 5 career home runs against me in 23 at-bats. That's a .217 average. I've struck him out 14 times. Those are the facts. The newspapers want to create drama, but the numbers tell the truth. Ruth can't hit me. The reporter writes this down. Ruth says he's seeing the ball better this year, says he's figured out how to time fastballs. Johnson laughs. Ruth says a lot of things. Talking and doing are different. Let him step into the box tomorrow. Let him try to time a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. We'll see if he's figured anything out. The quote runs in the evening papers. Bold headline, Johnson, Ruth can't hit me. Ruth reads it that night in his hotel room. His teammate Lou Gehrig is sitting across from him. You see this? Ruth shows him the paper. Gehrig reads it. Walter's confident. Confident is one thing. This is disrespectful. What are you going to do? Ruth folds the paper carefully, sets it aside. I'm going to prove him wrong. He's the best pitcher in baseball, Babe. 98-mile-per-hour fastball. You've struggled against him before. I've struggled against his reputation, not against his pitching. There's a difference. Gehrig doesn't understand. What does that mean? It means every time I've faced him, I've been thinking about his speed, about his record, about his reputation. I've been in my own head. Tomorrow, I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm just going to see the ball and hit the ball. Easier said than done. Ruth smiles. Lou, I've been hitting baseballs since I was 8 years old. I've faced every kind of pitcher, fast, slow, tricky, wild. The one thing I've learned is this. It doesn't matter how fast the ball is. It matters whether you can see it. If you can see it, you can hit it. Can you see Johnson's fastball? Tomorrow we'll find out. April 14th, 1924. Game day. Griffith Stadium is packed. 30,000 people. Standing room only. They came to see the matchup, Johnson versus Ruth. The atmosphere is electric. Senators fans are confident. Their ace has never lost to Ruth. Not really. A few hits here and there, but nothing significant. Yankees fans are hopeful but nervous. Ruth is their star, but Johnson is Johnson. Unbeatable. The game starts at 2 hours. Walter Johnson takes the mound for the first inning. The crowd erupts. He's their hero, their legend, the man who has carried this franchise for 18 years. He looks sharp. Warming up, his fastball is popping. The catcher's mitt makes that distinctive sound. Crack, 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 pure velocity. The Yankees' leadoff hitter steps in. Johnson's first pitch is a fastball, high and tight. Ball 1. Second pitch, fastball down the middle. The batter swings, late, completely late. Strike 1. Third pitch, fastball outside corner. The batter reaches, weak ground ball to second, out. The second batter. Same story. 3 pitches, 2 strikes, pop fly to center field, out. The third batter, 5 pitches, 3 swings, 3 misses, strikeout. Johnson walks off the mound, 3 up, 3 down. The Yankees look overmatched. Ruth is batting 4th. He won't come up until the 2nd inning at earliest. Bottom of the 1st. Yankees pitcher is on the mound. Not nearly Johnson's caliber, but decent. The Senators can't score either. 3 up, 3 down. Top of the 2nd inning, the 4th Yankees batter grounds out. Now it's Ruth's turn. The stadium noise changes, gets louder, more intense. Ruth steps out of the dugout, carrying 2 bats. His ritual. He takes a few practice swings in the on-deck circle, watching Johnson, studying. Johnson is on the mound, waiting. He's not doing his usual warm-up tosses between batters. He's just standing there, waiting for Ruth, staring at him. Ruth puts down one bat, walks to the plate carrying the other. The umpire brushes off home plate, steps back. Ruth steps into the batter's box, plants his feet, looks at Johnson. Johnson looks back, 60 feet 6 inches between them. The crowd is screaming. But in that moment, it's just two men, pitcher and batter, ego and ego. Johnson winds up, delivers, fastball, high and inside, almost hits Ruth. Ruth doesn't flinch, doesn't step back, just takes it. Ball one, the crowd boos. They think it was intentional. Johnson gets the ball back, no expression, winds up again, delivers, fastball, outside corner, perfect pitch. Ruth doesn't swing. Strike one. The count is 1-1. Johnson is feeling good. That was his best fastball, right on the corner. Ruth couldn't touch it. Third pitch. Johnson winds up, fastball again, middle high. The pitch is good. Most batters would struggle. Ruth's bat comes through. He makes contact. Foul ball, straight back, strike two. Now the count is 1-2. Johnson has the advantage. Ruth has to protect the plate, has to swing at anything close. This is where Johnson usually finishes batters. One more fastball, put it on the corner, watch them swing and miss. Johnson gets the ball, takes a moment, stares at Ruth. Ruth stares back. Johnson winds up, delivers. Fastball, outside corner again, same location as the second pitch. A pitch that should result in a strikeout or weak contact. But something is different this time. Ruth's front foot steps slightly. His hips rotate. His hands bring the bat through the zone with perfect timing. The ball meets the bat. Dead center. Sweet spot. The sound is different from a normal hit. Not a crack, a cannon, a detonation that carries through the entire stadium. The ball launches off Ruth's bat, rising, still rising, screaming toward left field. The left fielder turns, runs. But it's hopeless. The ball is gone. Over his head, over the fence, over the bleachers, landing somewhere in the streets beyond the stadium. Home run. Babe Ruth has just hit Walter Johnson's fastball 450 feet. The stadium is silent. 30,000 Senators fans frozen in disbelief, the small section of Yankees fans screaming with joy. Ruth circles the bases, that distinctive trot. Not fast, not celebrating wildly, just steady, professional. As he rounds second base, he glances at the mound. Johnson is standing there, staring at where the ball landed. His face shows something nobody has seen before. Shock, genuine shock. Ruth crosses home plate. His teammates mob him, but Ruth's eyes are still on Johnson. Johnson finally looks at him. Their eyes meet. No words, no gestures, just acknowledgement. Ruth tips his cap. Johnson nods, the smallest nod, barely visible, but it's there. The game continues, but something has changed. The confidence Johnson had is shaken, not broken, but shaken. He gets the next two batters out. Inning over, but everyone knows what happened. Walter Johnson, the untouchable, just gave up a massive home run to Babe Ruth. The one batter he claimed couldn't hit him. Before we continue with what happened next, if you're enjoying this story of baseball's greatest confrontation, hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? And who is your all-time favorite baseball player? Now, back to that game at Griffith Stadium. The Senators come to bat. They need to respond, need to score runs, give Johnson some support. They can't. 3 up, 3 down, top of the third inning. Yankees batting again. The first batter singles, the second batter walks. Johnson is rattled. His control is off. The third batter grounds out. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Now Babe Ruth is up again. The crowd is nervous. They've seen what Ruth can do. They don't want to see it again. Johnson has a decision to make. He can pitch around Ruth, walk him intentionally, load the bases but avoid giving him another chance to hit. Or he can challenge him, prove that first home run was luck. Johnson is a competitor. He's not walking anyone, especially not Ruth. Ruth steps in. Same stance, same focus. Johnson winds up, delivers, fastball, down the middle. Ruth swings. Another perfect connection. The ball rockets toward right field. Line drive, screaming. The right fielder runs, dives, misses. The ball rolls to the wall. Ruth is running, hard. Despite his size, he's moving. He rounds first. The throw comes in from the outfield. Ruth slides into second. Safe, double, 2 batters, 2 hits, 1 home run, 1 double. Ruth stands on second base, dusting himself off. Johnson is on the mound. Trying to understand what's happening. How is Ruth doing this? How is he catching up to 98-mile-per-hour fastballs? The next batter grounds out. Ruth advances to third. 1 more out, and the inning is over. Johnson gets it. Strikeout, but the damage is done. Ruth is standing on third base. Johnson has to look at him, has to acknowledge that he's been beaten. Twice. Bottom of the third. Senators finally score. They get 2 runs. The game is now 2-1, Yankees leading. But it should be more. Johnson has given up more than runs. He's given up his mystique. Top of the 5th inning. Ruth comes up for the 3rd time. The crowd doesn't know what to expect anymore. Can Johnson stop him, or will Ruth hit him again? Johnson decides to change strategy. No more fastballs down the middle, no more challenging Ruth directly. He's going to pitch carefully. Work the corners, make Ruth chase bad pitches. First pitch, fastball, way outside, ball 1, second pitch, fastball. Inside, brushes Ruth back. Ball 2, third pitch, fastball, low, ball 3. Johnson is pitching around him. Not quite an intentional walk, but close. Fourth pitch. Fastball. Outside corner. Close. The umpire calls it ball 4. Ruth walks to first base. The crowd boos, not at Ruth, at their own pitcher, at Johnson for not challenging, for showing fear. Johnson hears the boos. His face hardens. He's never been booed at home before. Never. The next batter comes up. Johnson strikes him out. 3 pitches, 3 swings, 3 misses. His fastball is still there, still dominant, against everyone except Babe Ruth. The game continues, back and forth, both teams scratching out runs. By the 7th inning, the score is 4-3, Yankees leading. Ruth hasn't batted since the walk. He's due up again in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 7th. Senators rally. They get 3 runs, take the lead 6-4. Griffith Stadium erupts. Their team is winning. Johnson might still get the victory. Top of the 8th. Ruth is leading off. Johnson is still on the mound. He's pitched 7 innings, thrown 120 pitches. He's tired, but he's not coming out. He wants to face Ruth one more time. Ruth steps in. The 4th confrontation. Johnson has given up a home run, a double, and walked him. 3 at-bats, 0 outs. Ruth is 2 for 2 with a walk. Johnson winds up. Fastball. But this one isn't 98 miles per hour anymore. Fatigue has set in. Maybe 94, still fast, but not Johnson fast. Ruth's bat comes through. Another perfect swing. The ball shoots toward center field. The center fielder runs, tracks it, makes the catch, finally. Johnson has gotten Ruth out, but it took a great defensive play. Not Johnson beating him, Johnson walks off the mound after the inning. His teammates pat him on the back. But he knows, everyone knows, he didn't beat Ruth today. Ruth beat him. Final score, Senators 7, Yankees 5. Washington wins. Johnson gets the victory, his 418th career win. By the numbers, a success. But Johnson knows the truth. Yes, he won the game, but he lost the confrontation. Ruth went 2 for 3 with a walk, 1 home run, 1 double, 1 hard out, against the fastest pitcher in baseball. After the game, the reporters swarm both locker rooms. In the Senators' clubhouse, they find Johnson. "Walter, you won. Congratulations." Johnson is sitting at his locker, still in uniform. "Thank you. But Ruth hit you pretty hard. The home run, the double." Johnson's jaw tightens. "He had a good day. Before the game, you said he couldn't hit you, that he'd never figured out your fastball." Johnson looks up. His eyes are tired. "I was wrong. I underestimated him. That was my mistake." "What did you underestimate?" "His ability to adapt. Every time I've faced him before, he was trying to pull my fastball, trying to hit it to right field. Today, he went with the pitch, used my speed against me, drove it to left and center. That's intelligence. That's skill. I didn't give him credit for that." "Will you approach him differently next time?" "There might not be a next time. I'm 36. My arm is tired. This might be one of my last seasons. But if I do face him again, yes, I'll pitch him differently. With respect." In the Yankees clubhouse, Ruth is surrounded by reporters. "Babe, incredible performance. Home run and a double off Walter Johnson. How did you do it?" Ruth is relaxed, smiling. "I saw the ball. I hit the ball. That's baseball. But Johnson's fastball is the fastest in baseball. How did you time it?" "I stopped thinking about his speed. That was my problem before. I was thinking too much, worrying about how fast the ball was coming. Today I just watched it, picked it up out of his hand, followed it all the way in. Once I could see it, I could hit it. Johnson said before the game that you couldn't hit him." Ruth's smile fades slightly. "Walter's a great pitcher, maybe the greatest ever. But nobody is unhittable, not even him. I have respect for what he's accomplished. But respect doesn't mean fear. I respect his ability. I don't fear it." "Do you think this changes the dynamic between you two?" "I don't know about dynamic. I think it proves that any pitcher can be hit on any given day. Even the best. Even Walter Johnson." The story runs in newspapers across the country. Ruth conquers Johnson. Babe's power defeats fastest arm. The confrontation everyone wanted. Ruth wins. But the numbers tell a deeper story. After April 14, 1924, Walter Johnson faces Babe Ruth 11 more times in his career. Ruth's batting average against him after that game, 364. 5 more home runs. Johnson never again publicly claims that Ruth can't hit him. Never again dismisses him as just a power hitter who got lucky. The respect becomes mutual. In 1925, Johnson finally wins his World Series. The Senators beat the Giants in 7 games. Johnson pitches the deciding game. Ruth sends him a telegram after, "Congratulations on your championship. Well deserved. Babe." Johnson keeps that telegram for the rest of his life. Years later, in 1936, the Baseball Hall of Fame opens. The first class of inductees includes 5 players: Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner, Christy Mathewson, Walter Johnson, and Babe Ruth. At the induction ceremony, Johnson and Ruth see each other for the first time in years. Both men are retired now. Both are legends. Johnson approaches Ruth, extends his hand. "Babe, it's good to see you." Ruth shakes it firmly. "Walter, congratulations on the honor." "You too. Well deserved." They stand there for a moment. 2 giants of the game. Mutual respect earned through combat. "I need to tell you something," Johnson says. "I've thought about that game in 1924 many times over the years. The day you hit me for a home run and a double. What about it? I was arrogant. I disrespected you. Said things I shouldn't have said. I've always regretted that." Ruth waves it off. "Water under the bridge, Walter. You were confident. Nothing wrong with that. But I was wrong. You proved me wrong, and you did it with class. You didn't gloat, didn't rub it in. You just played the game. You know why? Because I knew how good you were. That home run off, you meant more than any other home run I ever hit, because it came off the best. Beating you proved something to me. Proved I belonged in the same conversation as the greats." Johnson nods slowly. "That's generous of you to say, but the truth is that day changed how I pitched, changed how I thought about baseball. I learned that natural ability isn't enough. That even with the fastest arm in the game, you can be beaten if you underestimate your opponent. We both learned something that day." "What did you learn?" Ruth thinks about it. "I learned that confidence isn't about talking, it's about doing. I could have responded to your comments in the newspapers, could have talked about what I was going to do to you, but instead I just went out and did it. Let the bat do the talking." They shake hands again. Two legends, two friends, respect earned through competition. The story of April 14th, 1924 becomes part of baseball mythology, the day Babe Ruth faced Walter Johnson and proved that even the fastest pitcher in history could be hit, that even the most dominant arm could be beaten. The lesson echoes through baseball history. Confidence is necessary, but humility is essential. Because no matter how good you are, someone, somewhere, on some day, is going to be better. And when that happens, how you respond defines your legacy more than the loss itself. Walter Johnson responded with grace, with acknowledgement of his mistake, with respect for his opponent. And that response made him even greater than his 417 wins.